When you were a child, the world was intensely sublime. Everything was sublime. You weren't filled with all these abstract concepts and conventions. Your senses were more open. Your mind was incredibly expansive and fluid. You were experiencing life in this direct manner. I have a chapter in the book called The Childhood Sublime, and what the Childhood Sublime means to me is the following. Often as adults, we have a sense that something is missing from our experience. We're bored, we're restless, we feel depressed, and we don't really know why, and we go searching for it in travel, in finding new romantic partners and taking drugs or whatever. And what I'm saying in the Childhood Sublime is what that comes from is the fact that when you're a child, and I mean basically from the time you were born to the time you were 5 or 6, and then even up to the time you're like 12, but as you get older, it diminishes. And what I'm saying is when you were a child, the world was intensely sublime. Everything was sublime, right? You were experiencing the world directly. You weren't filled with all these abstract concepts and conventions, right? Your senses were more open. Your mind was incredibly expansive and fluid. And I can explain later the physiology of that, why the childhood brain is more like that. But in essence, you were experiencing life in this direct manner, right? And it was exciting. And your experience of time, how you looked at the world, everything was different from when it is when you're an adult. And then you lose that as you get older. I can't say exactly when you lose that. Maybe as you get in high school and you feel social pressures and you're no longer in your own thoughts, you're always worried about what other people think about you. But generally in your 20s is when that really starts to disappear, that deep connection to the world. And that's why you get depressed, and that's why you're restless, because you once knew of this world, you once had a feel deep within of what is sublime about it, and you've lost it. I call it the lost self. That childhood within you, that child within you is a self that you have lost and that you need to recover. And so the chapter is about basically what is different about childhood experience than adult experience, why it is sublime physiologically, and how you can recover it through various ways of changing your own way of perceiving the world. So that's basically what the Childhood Sublime is.